Hello, everyone. Karen Palmer, the founder of Global Kindness Going Viral, is with us today. You won't want to miss this episode with the kindest woman you'll ever meet.
Welcome to Your Mark on the World, bringing you another changemaker with champion of social good, Devin D. Thorpe.
This episode is made possible via the support of our sponsors, including Johnson & Johnson's Caring Crowd. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Devin. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Well, the pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much for joining us. It was great to be on your show a few weeks ago, and I am glad that you would take the time to come and be on our show and talk a little bit about what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about Global Kindness Going Viral.
Well, Global Kindness Going Viral is really showing that when one person really finds their authentic voice, that you have to take that message globally. And it's really about showing that one person does make a huge difference. And I read in the book, Power versus Force, Dr. David Hawkins wrote the book, Power versus Force, and did a scientific experiment saying that one person who vibrates with love in their heart, with peace on their mind, and with kindness in their actions counterbalances 750,000 people who are in the low vibration of fear and shame and blame. And, you know, when I heard that statistic, that's when I started using social media. I said, wow, this is something that really, I am one person, and I know that if I learn how to use social media for a greater good. Well, that was in 2014. And Devin, I had no technological experience, and my teenage daughter had to help me learn how to even start a YouTube channel. And so, you know, when you have this burning desire and you have this knowing in your heart that you're being called to do something, it's really about trusting in that bigger vision to know that you are going to grow into it, you know? So every person who's hearing this, I started with, you know, one follower. Everyone starts with one follower, one person who's listening to your message. And what happened from there was, at first, I didn't even know how to really use Periscope, and I was learning how to use Twitter, and I was being my authentic self, and I was showing people, I really don't know how to do this. But I'm here because I really want to help the world, and I really want to help animals, and I really want to help children. And so, you know, I just really stepped into my own magnificence. And when I stepped into my own magnificence, I started realizing that it was time for me to teach others how to do that too. So that's how the global kindness revolution really started. It was just, you know, knowing that if I could use social media for a greater good, if I could learn how to use technology, and I'm also a yoga instructor and a meditation instructor, so I was teaching meditation and mindfulness, and I was helping people to really tap into their inner peace so that we could have world peace. That was my inner peace for world peace.
There you go.
Self-kindness for world kindness.
Now, why do people call you the Queen of Kindness?
Well, I feel that that's probably because I spend all of my time finding ways as a singer and a songwriter, as a mom myself, as a loving wife, as a friend to every person I have an opportunity to get to talk to. I believe that we're all in this together, and that's how I wrote my song, World Kindness is Happening. World Kindness is Happening is a beautiful, beautiful celebration of collaboration. Global Kindness is collaborating now with World Kindness USA, and the World Kindness Movement. And so I'm going to be creating a musical coloring coloring book. And a musical coloring book is an opportunity for people to color together, to sing together, and to do charitable acts together. As a family, as a school, as a friendship, as a community, as a youth group, I'm working with some of the most amazing, beautiful groups. And, you know, collaboration has been the key to my success. It's all about, you know, truthfully seeing that we're all in this together and finding a way that we can be supportive of each other. That's why I'm the Queen of Kindness.
That's great. Now, sometimes people call you the mindful media mom, right?
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, I am also, I have a nonprofit organization, and I've been going into the schools for 20 years teaching environmental education. I designed a board game for children called Let's Save Our Earth. And I started going into the schools to teach mindful practices, how to be really present and how to learn how to navigate your emotions. And mindfulness is really all about being comfortable with the present moment and really accepting and enjoying every moment. And so I started doing mindful moments on my shows, and I started doing teaching people how coming together on Periscope. I had started to build a following, and Love in Action TV founder Max Ryan, who is a coach, saw one of my shows and said, "We would love for you to be a host on our show." So I started doing a show called The Globally Good Show, and I taught people how one person can make a difference. And that was kind of the show. And then from there, the Global Meditation Scope, these are the top 2 Periscope channels at the time, reached out to me and also said, "We'd love you to be a host." So I started doing Self-Love Sunday and teaching people about self-care and self-acceptance and self-compassion. So this is what my coloring books are all about, is, you know, to be able to utilize our creativity and our expression, because when we color, we actually get out of the fight, flight, and freeze part of our brain, and we're very present. So even as business people, and when we have to do a public speaking, or we have to, you know, do any kind of thing that we need to really be focused and have concentration, coloring is a wonderful way, and singing is a wonderful way to bring up your vibrations and bring up that feeling of joy in your heart, and also to keep your concentration on your speech, what you're going to be saying, what you're going to be talking about, staying on those points, you know?
Yeah. So you wanted to tell us about the 4 C's.
Yeah. You know, I feel that it's really important that every person who hears this knows that they matter and that they make a huge difference, and that when they are hearing this message, they attracted it because they're ready to really start taking their message globally. They aren't sure how to do that, but you got to let go of the how and be ready for the wow. That's my favorite quote. I have it on my necklace, and I always think about, you know, when something's big, and I have this big vision now for world kindness and working with these beautiful organizations. And I really believe that it's all about the 4 C's. If you really want to really express your magnificence and your genius, it's really about you believing in yourself first, and then you can really shine your light. I have the hashtag keep shining. And so my first thing is to collaborate. That's number 1. That's the first C, is to collaborate. And have number 2, clarity in what you want to collaborate. Make sure that you know what you bring to the table. Make sure you know what you can offer and how you can be of service. Because when you're coming from a place of being in service, all kinds of forces come into play that are beyond what we can really even comprehend. So we have to let go of, you know, trying to express what it is that we want to happen without having an attachment to it, really allowing things to be wowed, having that wow feeling. Like sometimes we have to let go of the reins and trust that there's something bigger happening through us that wants to be expressed. And so that's, number 2 is clarity. Number 3 is connection. I tell people all the time, when you're talking to somebody and you are talking to right now I'm talking to a computer and I'm looking directly into a bright little light, making sure that I'm looking at the right spot. But what I did when I first started was I put a picture of my daughter. I put a picture of my daughter on my screen. And I thought about how can I be an inspiration and how can I share these messages in a way that's going to help her to believe in herself. And I imagine that I was talking to her every time that I was talking to the computer. So make a connection with your audience and really engage with them. If they comment on your, on one of your posts, or they, retweet for you, make sure you acknowledge them. Make sure that you make a big deal about the appreciation that you have for them, and you'll start to see more and more people want to follow you. It's like the buzzing bee, it's like you get more honey. That's the easy way. And the final thing is courage. For the World Kindness Movement is the courage to be kind. And that's the Global Kindness Revolution motto also. It takes courage to be kind. In a world where people are saying, why are you wasting your time with all this kindness stuff? Why are you trying so hard to share about the good stuff? Well, what you focus on expands. And so when you are focused on kindness and being what you think is missing in the world, you're going to attract more kindness than you could ever imagine. I mean, when I started this, Devin, I had no idea it was going to grow into what it has grown into. I had a vision, and I knew that it was something that was so much bigger than my human self could really even comprehend. But there was a part of me that kept pushing me forward and was saying, this is the direction. Follow these breadcrumbs. Just keep following the breadcrumbs. And so those are the 4 steps. Really have the courage to be kind, to be your true self, to really be what you think is missing in the world. And reach out to your local senior center, or go over to your local animal shelter, or go over and check out if there's a single mom or a single dad who could use a break and would love to, be able to even just head over to the grocery store, or, go watch a movie. Offer to help the people that are in your neighborhood. I love Mr. Rogers. I want to be the next Mr. Rogers. I feel like Mr. Rogers is the biggest thing that's missing in television right now. And I would like to be a mystical next version of Mr. Rogers, bringing together social media with mindfulness, with neuroplasticity, learning. I'm also a neuro-linguistic programmer, so I work with the neuro-linguistic energy of our brain, and I talk to the children about what's going on in your brain, what's happening, when you are feeling overwhelmed, and I teach them breathing techniques, and I teach them how to really navigate their emotions, and that's why I'm Mindful Media Mom.
That's great. Well, Karen, you've had a very kind career. What's the most important lesson you've learned?
Devin, the most important lesson I learned was when I was homeless and when I was living out of my car, and I was able to get off of the streets by the kindness of strangers. My most important lesson that I learned in that time is that you are the most powerful person in your life. And what you believe about yourself is what will come mirroring back to you. I was a survivor of domestic abuse, and I suffered in silence for many years.
So
Not
sorry.
thank you. Not knowing how to really share my voice, and not really trusting in myself and believing that I deserved that kind of treatment. I attracted more of that, more. I work with the universal laws. I was actually reading 3 books at the time when I was homeless. Wayne Dyer's book, You'll See It When You Believe It, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I applied what I learned. And so the most important lesson that I've learned is share when you learn, and be who you truly are, and always pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking about yourself. Always pay attention to the beliefs that you have, and really be your own best friend, be your own biggest cheerleader. Now I get to work with teenage girls to break that cycle. I've been happily married for 23 years, and I have broken that cycle, and there will never be that kind of experience for me ever again. I want that for every person on the planet.
Oh, that's great. Well, Karen, what is your superpower?
I think my superpower is gratitude. I really do believe that it is the biggest superpower that we have. It's, the most incredible. What you focus on, again, and what you're grateful for expands, and it penetrates out into all corners of the world. When we are grateful, we start to ripple out. Grateful and kind are the same to me. I believe that's, those are the same, they're synonymous. Because when you're grateful, it's because you had a kindness done for you, and somebody was there for you. And I love that feeling, I love helping people to really, penetrate that feeling of gratitude. They've done so much science around gratitude and the power of gratitude, what it actually does to our neural pathways. We open up new neural pathways when we're grateful. So I do all kinds of challenges to challenge people to be grateful. And our channel that we have, Spirituality Gone Wild, is dedicated to doing all kinds of challenges. We do daily challenges of gratitude. We do daily challenges of acts of kindness. How can, you bring more compassion into your workplace? How can you bring more compassion into your school? Just lots and lots of ways to challenge each other. That's how the global kindness revolution got started, because I was seeing the ice bucket challenge. And I said, what would happen? What would happen if we challenged each other to be kind to each other? Yeah. What would happen? It's happening. It's like really happening, Devin. It's so exciting to watch it.
That's great. Now, Karen, I appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. Before you go, tell us how people can learn more about what you're doing and how they can connect with you on social media.
It's really easy. You can connect with me on social media at Mindful Media Mom. If you follow me, I always follow back. And if you reach out to me, I will, talk to you about how you are magnificent. And let's find how to love your dream into this reality, because every one of us deserves to have our dreams come true. And that's so powerful. And you can check out my website at globalkindnesstv.org, and you can get my free Manifest Your Dream playbook at globalkindnesstv.org/dream. And that's my free gift to you. It's over $400 worth of incredible ways to help you remember your magnificence. And that's my gift to you, because I know if you're listening to Devin, and I know if you're watching this show, that you are ready. So let go of the how and be ready for the wow.
Fantastic. Karen, thank you so much for being with us today. We wish you every success in continuing to share kindness.
Thank you so much.
All righty, let's do some good.
At Caring Crowd, we believe everyone has the power to make a difference. Through our crowdfunding platform for community health, we empower passionate people to drive real change. Whether you work for a nonprofit organization, volunteer, or want to get involved for the first time, you can post a campaign on Caring Crowd. Join us, because caring is where change begins.
Thank you for listening. This podcast is available at youtube.com/Devin Thorpe. Subscribe to this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes by searching for Your Mark on the World. Every weekday, Devin hosts a CEO, celebrity, entrepreneur, or other changemaker here on the Your Mark on the World show to inspire and prepare you to make your mark. Devin is a champion of social good, writing about, advocating for, and advising people who are doing good. He is a Forbes contributor who is a recognized thought leader in social entrepreneurship, impact investing, and crowdfunding. To book Devin as a speaker, visit devinthorpe.com.